Hi everybody, it's Emma from Emma's Cards and Paper Crafts. Just a bit of a different video today. My craft space needs a very good organise. It's a complete shambles. And now that we've got the new style of packaging for stamps and dies, they no longer fit on my shelves, so I need to reorganise my entire craft space just so I can turn my shelves around and make them fit. So I'll show you what we're dealing with. My craft space is a hell of a mess. So this is what we're dealing with. It's like chaos. So current stamp sets up here, and this is the size of the new ones, and as you can see they will not fit on my shelves. So my plan is to take those shelves, rotate them 90 degrees so that I can stack my new ones in this way and they'll be stood up the right way. That's my plan. I'm not going to show you the whole process because this is probably going to take me a couple of days to do this, not just a couple of hours. But I'm going to tear everything off these shelves, everything out, and I will come back and I will show you the results when I'm done. There is so much stuff stacked up and hidden. I even have stuff hidden under my desk. So here is some old retired things, some Galaxy packets because I was using them to make Christmas gifts, and I just keep random things under my desk that are tucked away and hidden. So I'm going to give this all a good, there you see me again, I'm going to give this a good sort out and I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. Hopefully it'll be a lot more organised. I'll have got rid of all of the retired stuff and I will have filed that away nicely, because I feel like I've probably got a lot of retired things on my stamp sets up here that have got stickers on. They mean that the stamp sets were in the last chance, so once they're in the last chance, I will use them until they're no longer available. And then once they're no longer available, I then take them off my shelf and file them or get rid of them if they're not ones that I'm going to use regularly. So yeah, we'll be sorting all of that lot out and organising all of this. Some projects from previous makes from Nellie Stamper's team meetings at Christmas. We did some Christmas games and stuff. And that was some projects we made recently that just need filing away into my box of projects and things like that. So I will be back and I will show you the lovely improved tidy space, hopefully, fingers crossed. Don't know about that being too much of an improvement. My area is quite small and I've got quite a lot crammed in, but I will do my best to organise, tidy and get it back ship shape for a new year of crafting. Fingers crossed. I need to get this done. This is my last week off in January now before work reopens. So this is my last chance to get it done. So I'll bring you a nice clean tidy craft area soon, hopefully, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. So I thought I'd just bring you a midway catch up. Everything is cleared off the shelves now, so I can get those turned around. I've got all this mess to sort out. I have weeded out some of my stamp sets and dies that have retired, but I've still got my punches to go through, so that's my next job. So we hit a minor hurdle. The shelves turned on their side would not fit in this corner. They were hanging off the desk about this far, so I can't work like that. So we've had to move everything along the desk, and I think they're going to go there like that. Let me just grab one of the new stamp and die packages and we will make sure they fit. So here we go. Here's one of our new ones, and look, they fit. So that plan is sorted. As I've now got 6 cubbies, I'll be keeping my ink closer to hand. I'll probably keep it at the top so it's in reach, and my stamps and dies will go on these 2 here so they're right in front of me. I'm still yet to figure out where I'm going to put my designer series paper because I can't balance it in here because this cupboard's just not wide enough, so that's not going to work. And also my wires, the plug is actually behind the wardrobe in this corner, so I've got to figure out that as well. At the moment they're there, but I'm not sure if I can maybe move the desk along just a tiny smidge so the wiring can kind of go in a gap here and I can tuck it in here kind of thing, but I'm not sure. the cable is also not long enough for me to put it up here. So that's another hurdle we're going to have to overcome. But yeah, we're getting there. So it's only taken me a few hours so far to sort this far. I'm going to keep going and sort everything out and get it back on shelves, and then I will be back with you soon. Another quick little update. This is where we're at. So I've been through all my punches, all of my stamps and dies, my ephemera and the big dies, and some embossing folders. Stamping mist I've got at the front. Next to sort out and organise where all of my ink is going to go, it's probably going to be these two bottom ones here with my brights and my neutral, no, my brights and my, hang on, the ones that I don't use the most. So the neutrals and the regals are going in here, the brights and the subtles will go in here because they're the ones I use the most. So that's where we're at. Give me a minute and we'll be back again. There we go, the ink's in now and we're making progress. Now I've just got to figure out how I'm going to work the top of this, because this bit here is open, but I needed it to be open so that I had two shelves here and here. If I'd have put them up the other way, I'd have only had one shelf in the middle and it wouldn't have worked. I'm thinking my big boxes of alcohol markers that are not Stampin' Up, one of the big boxes might be long enough to lay across the top and sort of bridge that gap, but then these big dies won't be able to go here, so I'll have to rehome those. But we can cross that bridge when we come to it. If that's the only way I can make the top work, that's the way it'll have to go. So I'll see you again soon. I feel like we're really starting to make progress. Now let me zoom out a little bit. I've managed to get everything out the top. I have this old rack here that I used to have all of my stamps in long before I got these ones. I haven't filled this up yet, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty of things that need to go in it. It did used to hold all of my memories and more cards, but since I'm using those less, I'm trying not to put the things I don't use on my desk. So I might find a new home for those. I might rehome them. I'm not sure yet. But I feel like everything is slowly falling into place and it's all getting nice and tidy. I do have this massive slanted box of kits in the corner that are half finished, or even some of them being new ones that I haven't done yet. I'll move all of those out, move this across, and I feel like I'm going to have to put my designer series paper right in the middle there, which is going to be right in my working area, but it's the only spot I've got for it, unless I can figure something else out. Alternatively, I might get a rack to put it underneath my desk and see how we go there. So that's the current update of where we're at. We still have a lot to go, so I will be back with you when we've got a little bit more sorted. So we've been at it about 2.5 hours now. It's taken a lot longer than I thought it would. I knew I was going to be in it for the long haul today. I keep moving things from place to place, so I'll show you what I've got now and what mess we've still got left. So I've got my designer series paper here, all of my current new stamp sets are here, current ones, some kits that I've finished but the stamps are still current and in the catalogue, and I occasionally pull them out for projects if I like the sentiment. Behind here I've got my stamp sets that will be retiring soon, or in the last chance should I say, and a few new ones. I've got all of my random dies here, ones that are either not I say standalone dies, and then some odd shaped die boxes that don't fit inside my stamp sets. Up here I've got envelopes, my ephemera, plates for both of my die cutting machines. I've got my punches, then I've got my regals, my neutrals, my subtles and my brights, and then on top of them I've got my ink colours here because I use those quite a bit. These ink colours just here that are hidden slightly, these 5 at the top will be retiring soon, I believe. I think it's the beginning of April they retire, and we'll be getting some new ones, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the new colours are. There is a hint on the website. if you're clever enough to find it as to what one of the colours is. We've not found out any of the other colours yet, but we're just assuming this one is going to be an in colour. So that's exciting. And I'm just going to keep going. Still got lots to do. There's so much mess behind me that's just spread across the bed that I need to find homes for or get rid of. But that is the progress so far. I'm still not sure what I'm going to put in those two cubby holes up there. So I think my Memories and More cards here will probably go back up in one of them. So that'll fill a gap. But we are getting there slowly. I've also been toying with the idea, I'm not sure yet, of moving these shelves across here and putting that end, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. Purely because my Design End Series paper actually does come out quite a bit on my desk and only leaves me really not even, well, an A4's width of space in front of me. It's either that or I need to come up with another plan, or I need to get a 12 by 12 maybe paper holder, like a file holder, but a 12 by 12 one, so I could put it this end on the end of the desk. But at the end of the desk here we have a great big hole that just falls down into a void, and I don't want anything to fall down there. It happens all the time, so I don't want to be losing my Design Series paper down there. So I might invest in a 12 by 12 file holder, if you get my gist of what I mean, and maybe move it across that way, which I might have a look on a place that begins with A and ends in N in a minute, and see if I can find one. But we're getting there. I'm just taking a 5-minute sit down because my back is killing me from all of the lifting and carrying and moving things. So that is where we are. Hopefully the next little update will be everything's finished and in its places. So I'll see you again soon. So we're finally done. Let me show you what it all looks like. So I managed to stack all of my kits up in the corner so there's nothing falling down the side. So my Design Series paper and cardstock can stand there. I have my lovely, helpful Taylor Swift popcorn bucket up here that I use as my bin for when I'm recording videos. In here I've got, so that one's got some glues and some blades, some mini stamping spots, random stuff for videos, some tea bags and stuff like that. I've got all of my sparkles and current embellishments in there. That one's got my heating tool, and this one's just got blocks and lots of other bits and bobs in. So I thought I'd just go through the final placement of everything. So I've got my big dies here that are too big to fit in the gaps. These are my new dies and stamps. This is my current stamps. Current stamps here as well. Current dies that are standalone dies. I've got some dimensionals and some double-sided sticky tape here. Hole punch that I use quite regularly. These are all of my retiring ones that are on the last chance. Then up here we have my die cutting plates, ephemera, envelopes, some more Stamp and Mist spray. I've got my brights and in colours, my my settles. Mine went blank then, I couldn't think what they were called. And then I've got my lovely pile of glues. I've got my neutrals here and my regals here. I don't use those quite as much. All of my punches are current are here. And then have a big block that doesn't fit in my box, so I've got an extra one of those. This is all of my Memories and More, my photo printer boxes and my label maker. I've got both of my die cutting machines up here, my Stampin' Up alcohol markers, and then just my deco alcohol markers. I've found a temporary home for my signed Taylor Swift CD that used to be right in the middle here. And I think that's everything. I've got a tiny little pile of stuff left to sort out here, but other than that, everything is done and it's put back how it should be. And I have so much more space to craft now, which I'm really happy about. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, even though it's a really different video for me, but just thought I'd show you the process of sorting out my craft area. Thank you for watching. See you soon again soon. Bye bye.